This video is going to be a little bit about using sound on your project. And so generally with the sound is you have to put what's called an audio listener on your camera. Now we already have this prefab FPS controller, and if we go to first person character, you'll see that by default it already has an audio listener. Now if you're building your own, you'd go to add component, audio listener, right, and you'd add that in. We don't have to. Well, then we go up to the top level here, and you'll see that by default you have this audio source. This first one, don't touch in this context. Go ahead and add another component and say audio source. And so what I'm going to do is actually use this to create ambient sound. So what I did is I have this sound I downloaded, this royalty-free music, kind of bouncy. And so I'm going to go back to my first person controller. I have my new audio source, right? Not the first one. I'm going to close it so I don't screw them up. And I'm going to drag my sound right into the audio clip right there. And so now when I play, right, I've got this jaunty ambient music happening. Now, obviously, you probably wouldn't want a song going through the whole thing. And there's way more complicated ways to create ambient music, especially ambient music that changes as you get to different parts of your terrain and things like that. There's plugins for that. But also, you can just attach sound to objects. So let's look at that. And that's how you could leverage kind of making ambient music based on where we're at. So let's take out that audio source because we don't want it. I'm just going to go to none, or I could even just go ahead and remove this component because we didn't need it. And I'm going to select our sphere that's been sitting here not doing much, and go ahead and add a component. And we already had audio source loaded there. And I'm going to pick that same music. And now I'm going to look down in these settings, and you have this spatial blend happening. So what you want to do is bring that all the way over to the right too, so that's a 3D sound. There's something else we might want to do with these 3D sound things, and that's how far away does it kind of start to fade off. It won't fully fade off, I guess, unless there's got to be a way to fade it off longer. But I'm going to put that down to 10, and you'll see that actually the object has this little thing here. Whoops, no, I lost it, sphere. That is actually that sound, right? The distance from that, so we can change that. I'm going to go ahead and put it pretty close in. And so now look at the difference in audio, and I don't know if you'll hear this on the video, but we hear it, but it's kind of far away. You know, it's farther as we get closer to it. See how much louder it is when we're near it? And then it attenuates as we get further away until it's, you know, really far away. Right? I can still just barely hear that, but it's there. So that's a little bit about adding sound to your project. What we'll want to do later is use Playmaker to actually maybe play a sound when we touch something or do something, right? But that's for later.